This is territory that is controlled by Los Zetas. This is a neighborhood that is a heavy smuggling neighborhood for Los Zetas, the transnational criminal group we call Cartel that operates immediately south of us in Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. We saw Border Patrol looking for someone, and there's multiple things going on. Obviously, because there's two different incidents and the level of people driving by, what's going on is they used one person to come in illegally and run to distract authorities while they were doing something else. And now that we're here with cameras, we have multiple vehicles that are full of men that keep driving by and looking at us and eyeballing us. We had an individual come by on his cell phone and then make a point to walk by the cars and look in our cars while we're here. So what's happening is that people in the U.S. connected to Los Zetas and a Los Zetas smuggling operation is occurring. We're getting to see the CBP response. We're getting to see Air and Marine. We're getting to see Border Patrol in action. And we're also getting to see the cartel-connected smugglers and scouts in action in a U.S. neighborhood, Rio Bravo, Texas.
Nah. How many are we missing?
He said it was just him that jumped.
Okay. We're 22. We're good.
I'm gonna go over to the next street.
Okay. Oh, we'll take I got you. Listen, we load them up, we're gonna go on that side. Okay. ¿Tienes algo encima que no va a cortar? ¿No peligroso? Cuchillas, lo que sea. ¿No tienes? ¿Estás seguro? Ok, ¿el que más tiene el todo?
So we've seen a couple of guys walk past on cell phones. They're eyeing us. They're counting our cars. They're counting how many people are here.
They're looking in our cars. Right.
There's some people are driving by and waving, acting nice. Others are driving by and making very aggressive gestures, like head movements out the window.
Right, but several of them are driving by multiple times.
Many times.
Many times, over and over.
You're seeing the same vehicles.
Right.
Repeatedly, over and over again. And you're seeing a lot of action on this street, which granted, we've been driving through the neighborhood all morning, very, very little action, not a lot of pedestrians,
right.
Almost no pedestrians, almost no automobile traffic, and then all of a sudden, this is the most happening neighborhood in town.
Right, because what happens is that
happening street.
Los Zetas controls that neighborhood and in Mexico, that area, and they also control this city. They also have operational control of this city when it comes to the organized crime here and the criminal element. So what they're doing right now is trying to see if we're other people on their turf, right?
Yes.
That's why we saw the truck that passed multiple times. When he finally saw our cameramen were back, he saw the camera, he stopped, he turned around and he took off. He's like, oh, I think they're journalists. They're not some rival gang trying to pick up dope in our turf without paying us.
So we're talking about some of the stuff we just witnessed today, something hypothetical. What would be the decoy throwing us a tail away from?
A drug load or a load of maybe they're trying to cross a load of people who have given them money, who have given them a significant amount of money or agreed to pay a significant amount of money.
Yeah.
So they send one of their own, one of their neighborhood guys who can run fast, right? They send them across, they get them to run and get Border Patrol to look somewhere else.
Yes.
And then they can get their load across. So as you saw when we went to the river, there was a Border Patrol agent here. I know. I got it.
Yeah, this seems to be one of the same ones.
Yeah.
That's passed many times. Yeah, 8 times on that one.
Right. So there was a Border Patrol agent here where he had limited view of the river. There was a Border Patrol agent way over here with limited view of the river.
Right.
This happened and both Border Patrol agents took off.
Right.
So now who's on the river? Nobody's on the river. And that's the point.
We did see 3 trucks in a pretty condensed area here, which is a lot for what we've been witnessing this week on the border.
Correct.
You only got to move a couple of our border vehicles and you got a shot at moving something
100%.
across.
Yep. Very good. Very significant.
You gotta be careful, right?
What do you say? Be careful.
Okay.
That's government.
I know that is.
That's all the other ones.
Yeah. There's a number of areas like this where you have very low income areas, largely populated by people who are not here legally,
Right.
on the U.S.-Mexico border, and stretches immediately across the river from major metropolitan areas in Mexico that are controlled by cartels.
And this is the densest amount of border patrol we've seen, aside from like a designated checkpoint.
Correct.
Since we've been here, and we've been here 3-4 days now.
Correct.
And still, there's more people who seem to be surveilling the situation that we believe are probably cartel connected.
This is Los Zetas territory.
Yeah.
This is where they commit their crimes. Like
Yeah.
if you want to go and do crime in El Paso, you're going to be dealing with La Linea, with the Juarez
Right.
cartel folks and the Barrio Azteca. If you want to do crime in Matamoros, you're dealing with the Gulf Cartel. If somebody's bringing drugs across the river in any of the Gulf Cartel territory, all the way from Boca Chica Beach, all the way up to about Zapata, Texas, you are in fact doing that with the Gulf Cartel. After Zapata, Texas on this way, you're dealing with Los Zetas. Once we get to Ciudad Acuña, it starts to change and different groups are operating. And that's just the way it is. It's just a fact of it. Do you see all the cars anymore? You see all the
It's
activity?
slowing down.
Why? Now that Border Patrol's gone, all the
Yeah.
cars are slowing down. There's not all the confusion anymore. Everybody's not driving around. That's because this entire economy in this town is based upon the Los Zetas.